What's up, y'all? It's Phil, and it's time for another update. So I'm out here on my porch, I guess? I don't know what this is. This is kind of like a lean-to that I started almost exactly 2 years ago. Had some embarrassing problems with a local contractor that I was doing a barter deal with, and ended up paying for most of this myself, which is why it still doesn't have walls. So other than the lack of walls and proper drainage for my air conditioning unit, this is a pretty cool little place out here. I've got some big tools. I've got my big 38-inch dual drum sander. I just got a new thickness planer and some dust collection. I also hung my kayak on the wall, which I'm pretty proud of, so I got to get that baby cleaned up yet again. If you've seen my other updates, I'm constantly putting new coats on it, and that's because I leave it outside. So hopefully now with it being stuck underneath here, it will start to not degrade so quickly in the sun, and I can actually keep it nice. So we'll see if that actually works. But I am starting another project today, which I'm pretty excited about. All this COVID-19 stuff has had everybody kind of slowing down. I've had a couple people cancel. But as of last night, I actually had somebody who went off the books because their pay got cut decide to go back on the books because they'd like to go ahead and do the project anyway. No one else has officially canceled. I did have a couple people kind of push back, so the only downside to me for that is that I wasn't going to be working during the COVID stuff because all my jobs that were lined up then got moved. I did manage to tack on an extra job, which I just finished editing the video for, and that update should be up soon. That turned out to be a really beautiful job, and it kind of saved my butt because it filled in the spot where the one client who decided to switch their time, it filled in that little bit of a void and allowed me to work in one house during the shutdown, so I didn't have to worry about going to multiple clients' homes, and that's, you know, pretty good for this isolation stuff. So as at least the isolation part appears to be coming to an end, we'll see if that actually happens. I am going to be starting a new job. I'm going to start it here in the shop, and I've actually got a couple more things to do here in the shop, including cleaning up, kind of like I did out here, but also getting my trailer set and ready to go so I can kind of get that finished up. And then this actual job is just redoing a couple of built-ins that are already done, just weren't really done well. So I'm going to be redoing them. I believe I'm working with a granite guy as well. He's going to put in some granite countertops, and I'm going to do all the shelving, and then I'm building this tabletop to replace the old tabletop for the client. So hopefully this will all go smoothly and quickly. In the meantime, I've also got another client that I just did a big job for, and she wants me to come out and modify everything and kind of add some stuff to it, change the design just a little bit. So that's kind of cool. I like it when that happens. People are like, hey, I like what you did, but now that I've lived with it, I want to change the design a bit. You know, tack it on, add it on, get a little bit extra money. So I think that should be good. So hopefully that will be my week. It may bleed into next week a little bit just because everything has been slow. So every time I think it's going to go quick, it doesn't. But we will see. So it's a beautiful spring day. It's been in the 70s lately. It's in the 40s today. Welcome to Tennessee. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Take you guys along with me. Let's go. So what exactly am I doing? So like I said at the beginning of the video, I had some small jobs to do. This week was a little wonky for me, so I'm kind of ending my week not wanting to go and start another new project. So I'm doing some things around the shop that needed to be done and filling in some of these small jobs, including going back to my biggest job and doing some work for them, and then this round table that is for my next big project, and even someone that I did work for like 2 years ago that wanted me to do some molding, some like trim molding around their cabinets they had installed from Lowe's. So basically today was just a bunch of handyman work, which is actually kind of nice. That's a nice way to kind of pad the bank account a little bit. So I'm working on this dining table, and my clients ordered a dining table from me as well as getting one at a local store here that sells handmade furniture. This one was made in Mexico and did not have any finish on it, which actually turns out to be a good thing. The reason they wanted me to take a look at it is because it started getting some water rings. They tried to clean them off. It looked like it was soaking in, and they panicked. They weren't really sure what was happening. They asked me my advice, and by simply rubbing it really hard, you could get the stain to come off onto your finger. So that means there's no finish on it, which is actually good because I can just go ahead and straight up put the poly on it. I don't have to worry about a nice like wax finish that I have to remove. I don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. So I went ahead and started applying the poly, and it's looking pretty good. So I've got the first kind of flood coat on, and then I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more coats, give it some sanding, and do 2 to 3 more coats, more sanding and a finish coat, just like in my finishing video. I'm going to basically just try to get this thing redone for them and have it back to their place on Monday. I'm also modifying my own pieces because I did this mudroom for them, but they have 11-foot ceilings and decided that the original design wasn't enough, so we added extra cubbies over every single space. So I got those ready to go today. I'm going to go back on Monday and sand and paint those, and that job is done. I also had to adjust the baby gates that I made because they were a little heavy for the balusters, and so they kind of pulled in as everything settled. So we went ahead and adjusted them just a little bit, gave about 1/8 of an inch gap, and repainted and rehung that. So that's good to go. I think I'm pretty much done for the day, and I've got to decide what I'm going to do tomorrow. But the dresser is out, the tables are in, everything's looking good so far, so I'm going to get ready for this weekend and get started on this next job. It is Monday, and my client, over the weekend, I let her know that if she wanted me to, I could rebuild this staircase that's here behind my trailer. I could just redo it. They've wanted to have it done for a couple of years, and I thought, might as well tack it on, shoot her a quote, see what she says. And on the way here this morning, they said yes. So that's actually the 3rd client in a row who has added on an extra project to their current project. But it's not going to put me behind, because one of the coolest things about the scheduling here is that she's having granite put in the built-ins that I'm refinishing and redoing for her. and it's going to take a while for the granite guys to actually get everything cut. They've got it templated, they're working on getting it cut, so they're actually pretty quick, and it's not my guy, so I don't really know. I have no control over it, but if they're able to get that out here in the next couple of days, I can go ahead and finish up the built-ins. But I didn't want to have to constantly drive back and forth for like a couple hours worth of work and be done. Brentwood's kind of a far drive from where I live in Townsend Station. So adding this on is actually pretty great because it's going to, you know, give me a little boost of money in the end, which is nice, but also for the time that I'm waiting, I don't have to go and start another project and have 2 or 3 clients to deal with at one time. And during all this COVID-19 stuff, I'm not adding exposure between houses. I'm still working at one client's place at a time. So this is pretty cool because I'm in my shop or I'm here, and as the granite gets installed, I can go finish the shelves. But in the meantime, I get to work on this staircase. Just like that, y'all, I am done. Well, with this part anyway. I still have a lot of work to do on the shelves, but the granite is not coming until Monday. So I'm gonna go up there and do a little bit more work on the shelves and just kind of get everything prepped and ready, get as far as I can. In the meantime, I've still got the dining table to work on back at my shop. So now that I'm done with this, I'm gonna get a little more work done up there and then head back to the shop and come back out here on Monday. And I'll show you how this turned out later. And just like that, guys, I am done. This project was epic. It's kind of cool. It's not as big as some of the big projects I've done as far as like the amount of work, but they were big pieces. I mean, these are pieces I was having to stand on and reach up as high as I could, get on ladders and stuff like that. The look of the room is completely different. The main piece when I started was this massive ugly shelf, and now it's just flat and sleek and beautiful. They got a bigger TV, which is amazing. The granite looks awesome. The best part about that is that the client actually had some friends who were telling her not to do the granite, so she was only going to do about half of this project. And then when she finally signed on to do it, she decided, I'm going to go ahead and go with the granite. I'm going to go ahead and do both sets of shelves and go ahead and have you do the tabletop. And then while I was there waiting for the granite to get delivered and installed, I went ahead and built that staircase. So this all went from like refinishing the top shelf of one project to like 4 different full projects. It's pretty great. I actually don't think any of hers was completely done from scratch, because now that I think about it, both of the big units already had the existing bottoms, and I just replaced the upper shelves and kind of reworked everything, redid the doors with new hinges and new handles and new paint, but that's about it. I redid her table top, but I didn't touch the pedestal or the chairs. I also completely redid her outside staircase, but I really just put back in what they had, made it better, made it so if you get the garbage can in and out, and put a wood rack on it so they're not just shoving stuff back there and letting it get wet. And I also elevated it a little bit so that it would drain better. But again, I didn't put in something that wasn't already there. So it's kind of interesting the way this one worked out, but all of these projects turned out really great. They're super awesome. I love this area with these slightly older homes and much bigger spaces. It's just awesome. I'm sure this video is long enough as is, so I'm gonna shut up and show you guys the beauty shots and get out of here. But just want to say thanks for watching. I hope everybody is, hope everybody's staying happy and healthy, and that you guys are able to get your projects done as well. Find me on social media. It is at PMK Woodworking on everything. I've had a lot of people emailing me lately, and I've had a lot of people hitting me up on Instagram. Y'all, if you do one of my projects, I want to see it, and I want to feature it on my Instagram page. I've had a couple people send me some things. I've featured some people already, so definitely send me your beauty shots so that I can brag about those and show you guys off and show off your work. So I'm heading in for the weekend. I'm pretty much done, so I'm just gonna pop that guy and enjoy my time. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.